welcome back to my channel, Chewbecca Does Disney. If this is the first time you're ever seeing me, I'm Chewbecca and I absolutely love Disney, especially going to the Disney parks. I've been visiting the park since 2014 and I have so many memories and insights and knowledge. That is my mastermind subject, and so I figured I would like to share this with other people who also enjoy Disney as much as I do. If you also love Disney, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe, and if you want to see me post a lot more regularly, I post on Instagram and TikTok almost daily. So we are coming to the end of January and so much has happened already that I just wanted to sit down and have a chill and chat. So if you haven't already, pause this video, put on your comfiest comfies. I have got this cute Disney hoodie that I got from Primark a few years ago. It's got Mickey and Minnie having a little smooch. So I thought it was like very on theme for Valentine's, which is coming up soon. But get a cup of tea, get your comfies and come and have a chat with me. Now that you're back and you're all comfy and you've got your cup of tea, let's have a chat. So I decided, okay, 2025 is going to be the year that I go and visit Disneyland Paris. I have never been, I can't believe it, and it's not that far away. It's so accessible via like the Eurostar. I'm like an hour from London, so hop on the Eurostar, be there in a couple of hours, or flights are equally just as short, so I just can't believe I've never been. Roll on January the 2nd, and I purchased an annual pass to Disneyland Paris. I can girl math my way into anything. I like to call it Becca math. If you are interested in Disneyland Paris pass holder options, there are 3 tiers. There is bronze, silver and gold, and I went for silver. The bronze pass was I think €179, and that has a lot of blackout dates. So you can go to the parks as much as you want, but only pretty much like Monday to Wednesday. So that works great for people that don't have only spare time at the weekend. So I think you would probably make your money back after one trip. The silver pass has a very small amount of blackout dates. So you can visit Disneyland Paris 300 days out of the year. So that's 65 days that are blocked out. I then looked at the blockout dates and they were like Christmas week and New Year's week, when I probably wouldn't be visiting anyway. There was Halloween week, which is like the October half term. And then there was a couple of other weeks during school half terms. Now, I don't have children. I don't have any restrictions on when I can travel. So for me, I actually try to avoid traveling in school holidays. So that worked perfectly for me. But you also get 10% off in shops and restaurants, which you don't get with the bronze pass. I love a bit of discount. Makes me feel like I'm getting things for free. This was €499, which came to about £415. So I think after 2.5 trips, let's just round it up, after 3 trips you would have made your money back. So yeah, so I decided to purchase the pass, and after a couple of trips then essentially all my future trips after that will be free. The Becca math is mathing. If you're feeling extra bougie, you can go for the gold pass, which is €579. It's my cat. With the gold pass you do get extra discounts, so you get 20% off in shops and dining. You also have unlimited access, so if you can only travel during school times, or you just want to go during those school holidays, then that's okay too. And you do get the extra perk of extra magic hours. That means you can get into the parks from 8:30 till 9:30 before the park opens. That is a perk only available to hotel guests, so it is a really great benefit to have. But we can't on the silver pass, and I think that is the one thing that is like making me think, oh, I wish I'd gone gold. I'm an early bird. I am always at the parks for rope drop, and so yeah, going in at 8:30 would be perfect for me. Maybe next year I'll upgrade to gold just for that reason. I don't regret my choice at all. I just wish I had the extra magic hours, but it's fine. I will just have to learn to have a lay-in when I'm in Paris and, you know, chill out for a little bit, which is one thing I don't do. And the best part of this is that you will hear a lot about my friend Phil. I went with him to Orlando for the first time to celebrate his birthday, and I influenced him and now he is completely obsessed with Disney, and I managed to influence him to also get an annual pass. So we have annual passes together and we're going to be doing a lot of trips together. Yeah. Thank you for coming along and being obsessed with Disney with me. Disney, if you're watching, I'm just joking, but I do laugh all the time with Phil about how I influenced him to give all his money to Disney. So that is my annual pass. If you're interested on how to buy one, you do have to go onto the French website. You can Google translate the page into French. Don't try and like muddle through reading the page in French like I did, because I know very little French, and it is super easy to do. As soon as you purchase the pass, it is all on your phone. It's in the app. You can scan it as you're going through the parks and as you're buying things. I just wanted a physical card too, because I don't know, one, in case my phone is ever low on battery, but two, just something physical to have and remember. So yeah, so I also went to the gates when I first arrived and they printed this out for me, so then I've got a physical pass as well. Just to have a physical pass, I think. I like physical things. So now that I have my annual pass, I figured I should just go to Disneyland Paris as like a test run to just see the parks and get familiar with the journey and things before I start like creating content about it. I decided that given that I wasn't starting my new job until the 15th of January, what better time than before I start work. We went on the 8th of January until the 11th, so we did like a Thursday to Saturday stint. It was great, and so that's why I'm going to sit and talk to you a little bit about it. So we decided to travel down the night before because we had the 6 AM train booked. I could make it from my house to St Pancras for 6 AM, but I think it would be a little bit stressful because then you are down to the wire of if a train is late or cancelled, what is plan B at 3 AM. So we decided to travel down the night before. I never sleep before a Disney trip. So we got the Eurostar to Paris, Gare du Nord, and once you are there, the journey is super easy because you can use the metro, which is the equivalent of like the London Tube, and it runs really regularly and it is incredibly cheap. You just need a card, which you can then reload on your phone very easily, and every journey on the Paris Metro only costs €2, and then with this card you just tap as you go through the barrier and off you go. So I do recommend getting one of these cards if you're going to be travelling through Gare du Nord. We're staying in Val d'Europe, and getting the tube from there to Disneyland Paris is one stop and it's like 5 minutes, and the reason for that is because we booked it so last minute. We really just wanted to try and keep our costs down, especially because I did have a boo-boo booking the train. I booked to go there on the 9th of January and I booked to come home on the 10th of May. I don't understand how I did that. As much as I would love to stay there all that time, I don't think my new job would have appreciated that. And obviously because that was a last minute rebooking, it did cost quite a bit more than we had hoped for, but it's fine. Now, as someone who has only ever been to Orlando is obviously a lot bigger than Paris, and it is just an absolute nightmare when you're trying to leave the parks, especially Magic Kingdom after fireworks. Trying to get out of the park and to your car sometimes can take an hour. So imagine my like shock when we left Disneyland Paris after fireworks and were back at the hotel within, I think, about 20 minutes. Yeah, I was in disbelief. I'm not going to pick which park I prefer, because Orlando will always have my heart. It will always be my home, and I'm not replacing Orlando by any means. I'm still going to be visiting Orlando this year. So yeah, I am going to compare them because I think it's good for people to know as much information as possible, but I'm not going to choose which one I prefer because I love them. They're like having kids, right? I love them both equally, but for different reasons. So let's get into it. What did I think about Disneyland Paris? So the parks themselves are smaller, but that is not a bad thing by any means. In Orlando, I am a bit of a fiend. I am usually there from the second they open the doors for early access, because where we stay, we always get early access to the parks. So I'm there from early access, usually to fireworks, and when you do that a few days in a row, you can be quite broken. I'm broken, but I'm happy. I'm not the most healthy person. In fact, the most exercise I get is in Disney. So not only is Disney like therapy for my mental health, it's also physical therapy. It is my gym, and that is a selling point in itself. I should probably cancel my gym membership and put that towards my Disney trip. Something to think about. What was I saying? I think the most I hit was 22,000 steps, and that's still a lot. Like, I still did a lot of walking, but I didn't feel broken. I can still walk. Wow. Yeah, so the first difference between the parks is that Disneyland Paris is significantly smaller. Not a bad thing at all. The next thing that I wanted to call out that I absolutely loved was the castle, the difference in the castle. So again, in Disneyland Paris, the castle is based on the Sleeping Beauty castle, which is very similar to California's castle, whereas in Orlando we have Cinderella's castle. So the Sleeping Beauty castle, first of all, was absolutely beautiful. I'm actually building the Lego set of it up right now. If I finish it today, I'll include it in this video. And like, I was like, oh, the park is smaller, therefore the castle will be smaller, so I'm not going to have the same wow factor. I walked in and I was like, oh my god, this is the most beautiful castle. And the best thing is you can go inside. So the castle had steps that lead upstairs where you can go, and there's all these beautiful stained glass windows telling the story of Sleeping Beauty. I think I got some footage. And these stained glass windows were absolutely beautiful, but there was also a door that led to the outside so that you could go and stand outside but still on the top of the castle and just look over the park. And that was amazing. That was really cool, like a really cool hidden gem that I actually didn't know the parks had. I did know that they had a dragon living under the dungeon, so I did know about that. And again, that was really cool to go and see. So you go in under the castle into the dragon's lair, and there is this big scary dragon. So yeah, I love how interactive the castle is. In Walt Disney World, you can go in the Cinderella's castle, but the things that are there are the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, which is for girls to get a beautiful makeover into a princess, and the Princess Cinderella's Royal Table restaurant, which is a restaurant where you go and eat and all the princesses come and say hello to you. So if you're going into Cinderella's castle, the things that you can do in there are the two most expensive things in the park, but you know what, they're also special. Fun fact, there is a suite in Cinderella's castle. You cannot pay any amount of money to stay there. You have to be invited by Disney. That would be, oh my gosh, that would be just amazing. That would, in fact, that would be a lifelong, like, bucket list ticked off. But yeah, so I loved that Disneyland Paris' castle was so interactive. Oh, my voice is going a little bit. So I think the wonderful thing about Disneyland Paris is that they have definitely taken inspiration from Disney's California. So some of their rides, like the Pirates of the Caribbean ride and the Small World ride, are a bit similar to California than they are Walt Disney World, as they also then had their own spin on some of the rides. So Haunted Mansion is one of my favourite rides, and in Disneyland Paris they have their own twist on that, which is Phantom Manor. But the thing that they did really well was they connected it to the land that it was in, which is Frontierland, also known as Thunder Mesa in the park. So the story behind Phantom Manor is that the Ravenswood family who owned the manor originally, were also the owners of Thunder Mesa, of the land, and of Big Thunder Mountain. So it's just really cool that it connects together. But yeah, they did a really good job at telling the story. And like I said, like, it was just actually, I think, my favourite ride in the whole park. Now, food-wise, Disneyland Paris had loads of options to eat. I did make a TikTok just showing some of the things that I tried and also how good I thought they were. If you haven't seen that TikTok, I will put a link in the description, but maybe go and follow me over there so you can see my silly little videos that I make. But yeah, I made a video just showing all the things I ate, so I'm not going to recap them here. But yeah, there was definitely some really good snack options, and I am a bit of a strange one when it comes to food. Like, I am very adverse to trying completely new things. Like, for me, I am a no-go with spice. I'm also like just no with fruit and vegetables. So I do like a lot of beige food, but I don't want chicken tenders and chips everywhere. I don't want burgers and chips everywhere. And so the one thing I find that Disney has done really well over the years is that they are shifting. Their menu has definitely shifted from like burgers and chips to more adventurous but not crazy dishes. Like, some of the things I eat in the parks, I'm sometimes like, wow, I would never have tried this at home. But I guess I have like a feeling of safety because I'm in Disney. Yes, I know, like, Disney is never going to make something like so overly spicy that's gonna blow my head off or something, because again, like, it's something for everybody. But the options in Paris were really great. There was a lot of really delicious things to try. So yeah, go and check out my TikTok and see what I ate. Other like standout moments for me that I really enjoyed about Disneyland Paris was the nighttime spectacular. Now, I am a big fan of watching fireworks and shows, and Happily Ever After in Walt Disney World makes me cry every single time. And when we were there on the 10th of January, Disneyland Paris actually debuted a brand new nighttime spectacular called Tales of Magic. Now that was absolutely stunning. It also made me shed a little tear. There are a few moments in the narration when it's talking about like finding your magic, holding on to your spark, chasing your dreams, and anything like that just gets me every time because it really speaks to my heart. And so yeah, definitely shed a little tear. The show itself was just beautiful, like the music, the projections on the castle, the fireworks, the use of drones was something that I thought was amazing. Some of the animations that they did with the drones was absolutely incredible. They used all of the different elements so well to tell such a beautiful story. So yeah, absolutely love that. If you are going to Disneyland Paris, please make sure that you stay up late enough to watch the nighttime show because you will not be sorry. Now, things that I enjoyed less about Disneyland Paris. The first thing was there is a lot of construction happening at the minute, which is very exciting, but when you are walking around Walt Disney Studios and it's just walls everywhere, it definitely takes away a little bit of the magic. So the expansion at Disneyland Paris is $2.3 billion, which tells you it's gonna be good, it's gonna be exciting, and it is going to make the park so much bigger. But that does mean that right now there is a lot of construction walls around, so you are constantly walking like in a maze around the walls, and it just takes away a little bit of the magic. But that's just one of the like downsides, is the amount of construction that's going on this year. Yeah, I really don't think there was much to complain about. So one thing I did want to do was just quickly show you my haul. Now, I was only there for 2 days, so I didn't go crazy, but I did go there a little bit unprepared. The one thing I did not take with me was a scarf, so I made it my mission to buy a scarf when I was there, and luckily for me I found this beautiful scarf. It is reversible, so you can either wear it on the black side, the white side, or like half and half like this. And the best thing is it has Mickeys, so this is very warm. And it was something I needed, you see. And then not only did I get the scarf, but I did get the matching hat. Now this isn't reversible because inside it's like lined with fleece, but it is very cute. Now I really don't suit hats, but I thought it was very cute, and I was really cold, so I wanted to try and keep my head warm, and yeah, it matched. And then I found the mittens. So there I was in Disneyland Paris, nice and snug in my matching glove, scarf and hat. Please don't come to me for sensible budgeting guidance or anything like that. Come to me to see what it's like to be completely spontaneous and irresponsible. So they were the necessity things that I bought, and then I did get a couple of treats. Okay, starting off, as I mentioned in my last video where I did my Walt Disney World haul, I love collecting pins and magnets. I absolutely love collecting magnets, and my fridge is full of them, especially ones with the years on. So got this colourful 2025 Disneyland Paris magnet. And then I got the Disneyland Paris magnet. I actually got this one before I got the 2025 one, and then I saw that one and I needed them both. So the first pin that I got was the Disneyland Paris 2025 pin. As you can see, it's got Saucer and Mickey in front of the castle, and it's got the Eiffel Tower. Now, fun fact about the Eiffel Tower at Walt Disney Studios, it actually used to be in Hollywood Studios. So when Hollywood Studios first opened, it was called MGM Studios. So it had lots of like film memorabilia, things to make it look like you are behind the scenes of making a movie. That is why when you go to Star Tours, it on purposely looks like a film set. The Eiffel Tower used to stand, I think, where Toy Story Land now is. And so obviously when they started making construction for Toy Story Land and Galaxy's Edge, we lost a lot of that area of the park, and it's now in Disneyland Paris, which I think is cool, and I hope they keep it. Just an icon. And then I did get this pin as well, which just says Disneyland Paris. It's got the castle. I love the pink and the blue. And then lastly, the piece de resistance. I'm trying to learn a little bit of French. A new Loungefly bag. Not just any Loungefly bag. But it's the Sleeping Beauty Castle Loungefly bag. I mean, it's such a beautiful castle, it only made sense to have a bag to match, right? Yeah, it is just a stunning bag, so I needed it for my collection because now I have the Cinderella Castle bag and I have the Sleeping Beauty Castle bag. It still does have a front pouch, but it is a lot narrower than my other Loungefly bags. But to be honest, I very rarely put things in the front pouch anyway with it, and actually it still has the tag on. So I can tell you how much this costs. So this is €100, but I got my discount on it, so I paid €90 in total. The going rate for a Loungefly bag, but for extra Becca math, actually I got a little bit more off than just the 10%. Because we're no longer in the EU, you can claim back your tax. I will do a separate video on how to do that. So I think that's probably everything I wanted to cover today. In terms of 2025, my plans for Disney are I'm going to be in Disneyland Paris as much as I can. I already have 2 trips confirmed, one in March and one in May, but I will also be looking a little bit further ahead soon and planning when else I'm going to be there for. Definitely going to go and get a Halloween and a Christmas trip in as well. Going to be going to Orlando in May, and then probably again at Christmas time. So that mirrors what I did last year. Last year I was there in April and December. Probably going to do something similar this year. I was going to go to California for Halloween and Orlando for Christmas, but then last night they announced that they're closing Muppet Vision in Hollywood Studios on June the 7th. And that has been a big part of my life. I remember watching it when I was a child, when I first went to Disney in 1997. And I'm just such a big fan of the Muppets. The fact that it's going away breaks my heart. So I have to go and see it one more time before I go, and I have to go and capture footage and just really relish the memories. So I'm now going to go in May. I don't know what that means for California. I'm still trying to figure it out. But yes, there's a lot of Disney trips to come this year. So I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe and yeah, come with me on my trips and come and hear me jabber about Disney. I do hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you enjoyed my random ramblings about Disneyland Paris. Overall it's great. I'm really glad that I bought the annual pass. I'm really glad that I'm going to be going to Disney so much this year, and I'm really glad that I'm going to be sharing it with people. Like, I just really enjoy it. I enjoy sitting down and just talking about Disney for an hour. So thanks so much for watching, and yeah, if you enjoy Disney and you want to watch my shenanigans at the Disney parks, or you just want to come and watch how financially irresponsible I've been, then please do hit that subscribe button. And until next time, I hope you have a magical day.